G'day viewers, it's Michael here again and welcome back to Single Racer and welcome back to this fairly difficult Single Racer channel challenge. And so I'll admit that this challenge is probably only for two types of people. The first type are the ones that are alien drivers already, and you know, after all I am an alien driver. And so the second ones who'd probably like to have a go at this challenge are the ones probably closer to me, which are the ones that like to walk into a fancy dress costume shop and buy an alien suit just to have a crack, just to have a go and see if you can beat my time. But now, putting all jokes aside, there's one habit that I seem to get into that I realised is a bad habit, and that's kind of what I want to discuss, because although the Lotus 49 is a regular car in Assetto Corsa, the track that I'm using is a mod track. It's the Fuji International Raceway, but the 1968 version, and I'm using the fuller GP versions. There are three versions altogether, but I'm using the full GT version. But what I notice this pattern is, and it's a shocking pattern, where I get on to a track I've never tried before. I drive maybe 3-4 times. It's got some difficult corners, or some corners, blind corners where you can't see, and I go, no, you know what, I don't like the setup, or I don't like these, you know, Mickey Mouse corners. Or to quote a politician, a very well-known politician here in Australia, Pauline Hanson, I just don't like it. Fair dinkum, I just don't like it. So, you know, I dismissed the track altogether. And so what was interesting to me was how this attempt actually came about, because I'm sure you hear me go over and over about how much I race online, especially on the Nordschleife. It's probably, I'd say, 90% Nordschleife, probably say 5% Laguna Seca, and throw in 3 or 4% say, you know, something like Spa or Monza, something like that. But definitely most of the time it's the Nordschleife. And in this case a server came up again that I'd never seen before, and so it was of course using this mod, using the Lotus 49, but it was a proper race. So, you know, you have your usual practice, qualifying and race. Now there was only one other person on at the time, but I thought I may as well go in and just give this track a go. And what happened was, because there are essentially 3 blind corners to this track, and I'll walk you through that in the attempt, but what I noticed was, after I kind of unlocked the fact that, because the crucial bit is where you position your car and maybe the angle that you position your car also, was suddenly that switch where you go, oh okay, I've locked those I've unlocked these 3 particular corners, all the rest are just learning how to take them. You know what, this actually is a fantastic track, and especially in this Lotus car, so much so that I'd say it's a fantastic car and track combination. And so finally I'm going to attempt a top 3 position for the world record on RSR. Now, I'm pretty confident in getting second, but the gap between third and first is quite large when you think of the small improvements you make on each lap. So I'm not so confident about first place, but because it is a world record and you want to have a go, it's totally open to setup changes. So I'm running an old Monza 66 setup that I got my third fastest on YouTube time with. It's a setup I've had for a long time, so I'm going with that. Any changes you want to make are fine for yourself if you want to give it a go, but I'm hoping for that second spot. So this is Michael signing out for Single Racer. I'll catch you next time. See you later, and let's go hot lapping. Okay folks, so as I put my headset on, let's try for a couple of hot laps to break this world record. Now, one thing I want to mention, here in Australia is one of my idol drivers of our own local V8 supercars, a driver by the name of Craig Lowndes, and without sounding egotistical, I drive a similar thing in that I like to drive a shallow line. So let me give you an example of this. Onto the straight, This is just a warm-up lap. But see how I drove the shallow line. But on this track, it doesn't work. And that's because you have to be adaptable and drive to the track more so than just the way you normally drive. So here's the first blind corner, and if you have a look, you see 3 trees that are all equal size. So I just aim for those trees flat out, but here I ease off. And what it does is when you ease off, the car doesn't bounce like it's a big boom, and it unsettles the car. And then I run out wide here and slowly ease off. This corner just gets tighter and tighter. So down to first, fourth, down to third, down to second, and then take this corner in second here. This is a fantastic corner once you get used to it. You're constantly dancing on the throttle, on and off the throttle here. Just sensational driving on this track once you get used to it. Now here's the second blind corner, and I came off so many times here because you don't realise there, I nearly went off again, how sharp it is. And the second bit also I would nearly come off as well. Now here is a first gear corner that you've got to remember as well, and this is kind of where, see, I came in too hot here, but I'm focusing a little bit on the talking too. So here is the second blind corner, and I'm deliberately driving out wide because what it does is it's got a dip, and if you don't allow for the dip, it throws you there to the left and you can hit that bank. You literally go off the track and hit that bank. So you've got to be aware of putting the car as close to the right side as possible. And now let's go for a flying lap. See, now I came out wider so the car was straighter, but let's see how I do this lap, and if I don't do well on this lap, I'll talk through the next lap better. Aim for the 3 trees. So here's the blind corner, so absolutely flat out. And what I do is I ease off and then gradually drift out wide. And you don't steer out wide because that loses too much momentum. You just gradually go out wide and then ease off each gear. Now I'll try and hold it, or I'll try second gear here. No, see, I don't like that. And this is where I use the ghost. I always have the ghost car on. I don't like holding second gear. I think you need to change up to, see, sorry, I'm too busy focusing on talking. But I tried second gear, and I use the ghost car if it's in front of me to use it as a test. But see, even though I'm throwing away this lap because sorry, because yeah, all right, thanks. I swear that's Gamer Muscle. Gamer Muscle from RSR. I swear it's him, and I so enjoy listening to that voice because I swear it's Gamer Muscle. But now that you throw away a lap, it's a good lesson in itself. In that what I try and do is say, okay, that lap's gone. Now I'll focus getting a good run out onto the start-finish line, because it's when you cross the start-finish line, it's the most important thing for that hot lap only. So here we go. Come out wide and deliberately ease on. See how much better the angle of the car is onto the straight. That's it. Now let's go for it. So let's go for this second spot now. I've got a much better entry. So I look for the 3 trees. I know I'm going to go flat out. I use the middle tree to the right tree to aim myself flat out here. There we go. Here's the dip. So I ease off so I don't get a kick on the way down, and then gradually ease over. Now what I might try and do is hold third here and see if that's better than holding second. So down to fourth, ease off, down to third, hold it. No, see, I haven't got the grip. I haven't got the torque, so I don't like that. But I'm still in front, so change down to second. I love this bit. On and off the throttle. See, I'm constantly adjusting the wheel. And now here's the tight bend, so I'll try and ease off here. Oh, see, I had to skid a bit there, so that wasn't so good. And again, ease off. See, I'm drifting still too much. It's still too much. Now I'll try and be gentle here. That's much better. That's much better. See, you know, I talk about my technique, slow in, fast out. So it helps me so much in certain cases, and that was a good example. And you think to yourself, well, I've got to push, but sometimes slower can be faster, and that was a great example. So I'm up, so let's do this again. Let's try for a better lap, but I'm still up, so ease off, that's it, ease off. Get that good run onto the straight, but I'm still up, so I think I can get second now. I think I can get second. I look like I'm up enough. Will I get second? Will I get second? Yes. Yes, okay, so, and I'm still up, so let's go for first. There's the ghost car. Again, aim for the 3 trees. I ease off for the dip, just gently, and let it drift out to the right, to the left, sorry. Don't steer to the left, you'll lose too much speed. Just let it drift over. Now I'll try a combination. Let's try sort of down to second. That's it. That's a tighter. See, I've got more torque. Then up to third. That's better. And now back to second. See, and I'm constantly, what I'm doing is I'm easing off the throttle, and that lets the car turn in. But then sometimes I'm giving it a throttle squirt like there, and it kicks the rear end out. It's that balance. This car's amazing to drive. Now, slow in, fast out, that's better. And again, slow in, fast out, and you go, it just seems so slow, but it works. First gear again, and slow in, fast out. That's much better. See, because it gives you grip. And it gives you, rather than the sliding sideways, it gives you the forward momentum. Now here's the blind corner. So again, ease off. So I'm over to the right, but that slides me over to the left. And then I'm in the perfect spot to give it full power coming onto these open, flowing corners. Now I'm up again. I could get first place here. So again, easy, just gentle. This car is so fantastic to drive. You just on off. Come on, I think I can get it. I think I can get it, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm up enough. No, I didn't get it. But I feel I'm in the zone. My brother Andrew and I talk about being in the zone, and I feel in the zone. So again, ease off a little bit. Don't worry about the ghost car. You're not chasing the ghost car, you're just driving in your own laps. So out nice and wide. I'm going to go a bit deeper here. I'm just going to try a bit deeper. Before I change the fourth, a bit deeper into third. Hold it. That felt good. I didn't need to change down to second because I was at a better angle. Now change down to second. That's it. You're always adjusting, and the ghost car's a great way to see different tests, whether you're up or down. See, now I use the throttle to kick me out. Again, throttle kicks the back end out. Now again, slow in, fast out. Oh, just came in a bit too right there, but just hang on to it. It's that balance. Again, nice and tight, and you know the first gear's coming up, so nice and smooth. Now you don't worry about the ghost car because it's doing the same thing, so as long as you can be smooth. Now look at the difference. See, the side kick is showing how much torque I got out of that corner by being slow. Now here again, drifting from the right to the left, and look how much power I can get down. Immediately get the power down. Now I'm holding the air, go out wide, keep the car as balanced as possible, and I'm going to come out and gently come on onto the straight. See how beautiful and straight I am for that maximum speed. Come on, I can get this. What am I? 8.5, come on. Or 0.85, and I did it, I think. Yes, a world record. There you go. Oh, and I'm exhausted. This car is so much fun to drive, but it's exhausting. Now, I'm no alien driver, so people like Magic and Alex over at the Extra Mole who love these old classic cars can have a go. But there you go, a world's record. This is Michael signing out for Single Racer. I'll catch you next time. We say goodbye to the crowd. See you later. Oh, I'm exhausted.